Okay, let's start off with a smart contract. I'm using Remixed here. I've got a new workspace set up, and this is roughly what it will look like when you first log in if you've never used it before. And let's go ahead and create a new file. So I'm going to hit this create new file icon, and we're going to call this GiveForever.sol. .sol is the file extension for Solidity. We're going to be building on Ethereum here. So let's actually copy some code from someone else. This will give us a starting point. So the first thing we're going to do is create a simple contract which just returns a value of hello world. So let's create this hello function. It's an external view. This means that the function can be called externally via Metamask by an external party. Internal functions can only be called within that smart contract. And then view just means it's not kind of modifying any data within the smart contract. Let's create a value up here. String hi equals hello world. And let's return hi. We just need to change this to a string. If we press Control Save now, we can see in this simple function, I've actually managed to have an error. We just need to call this we're going to return it from memory. That's compiled now. We can test this locally. So we're going to deploy this to Remix VM. This means we're going to deploy it to within the browser to start with. So we've got contract GiveForever. Let's deploy this. I'll widen this up a bit so it's a little bit easier to read. Let's go down and interact with this contract. If we click hello, we get a return of the hello world string. That's our contract set up. The final thing I want to do is deploy that to an external network. This is fine deploying it within the browser, but I actually want to kind of interact with this from a React app. And to do that, I want a public testnet. So a testnet is similar, or it's almost like a copy of the Ethereum network, but all the tokens and the ETH on it is free. It doesn't cost anything. You can go to a faucet. If you Google kind of testnet faucet or Gorelli testnet faucet, we use the Gorelli testnet here. You can get free ETH, which can be used for deploying contracts and interacting with this and kind of testing different things. Now, if we go to deploy this contract, we can go down to injected provider Metamask. If you don't have Metamask installed already, it's a digital wallet. And we're going to be deploying this to a testnet. So when you first kind of install Metamask, if you have a look at the top here, you'll be on Ethereum Mainnet. You just scroll down and there's an option to show hide test networks here. We want Gorelli. This is the testnet I'm going to be using. So let's go ahead and deploy this contract. We have to sign a transaction here. Obviously be very careful when you're signing transactions from external sites. You ideally want to be using a separate wallet that, from the one that holds your main funds. And you can see we've got this GiveForever contract at this address. We can click hello and it will return hello world. This address here is quite important. Let's copy that in here so you can see it. And this is similar to a kind of, if you build a website, you'd have an IP address or a domain name. And this address is similar to that. It shows you where to find your contract on the Ethereum blockchain or the testnet blockchain in this case. The next step of this tutorial is to build a React app to interact with this smart contract and get that data and display it on a kind of a web front end.